So as we usually start, feet together, feet apart. Soften your hips and knees, let them bend slightly. Let your shoulders relax and sink. Arms come up, expand your lungs, take a deep breath. Push down as we breathe out. Everything starts at the top, working our way down. If you've been coming long enough, you know the sequence, don't wait for me. Inhale, arms up, chin up. Arms down, chin down, exhale. Inhale, arch your lower back. Exhale, round your whole spine. A little shift here and there, side to side. Relax the tension in your neck, your shoulders, your legs. Inhale. Exhale. Eyes are heavy. Eyelids become relaxed, your focus somewhat soft. Push down. Breathe through your nose as much as possible. Inhale. Exhale. So everything's like, a wave or a flag moving, starting with the arms, to the shoulders, down the spine, eventually down to the toes and ankles. Inhale, tongue up to the roof of the mouth. Exhale, tongue to the bottom of the mouth. Inhale, open and expand. Close and contract. What are we contracting? We're moving the diaphragm. So you relax your midsection and let the stomach become somewhat larger. You squish down, you pull back on the stomach muscles, stomach area gets somewhat smaller. Helps us breathe deeper. Inhale. Exhale. So we can shift our hips. Shift the hips slightly forward. That puts the weight on the ball of the foot. Halfway down, become flat on your foot. As you push towards the ground, shift your hips back so the weight goes to the heels. Inhale. Exhale. So that's that wave of movement. Top to bottom. And forward and back. Let's try a couple more and then we'll move on. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. So the goal of that exercise is to get you to put your thought into what you're doing, put your mind into your body, kind of forget about all the stuff that's going on outside for a little bit, put your focus into the present. So we've been working on this other sequence, if you will, of watery exercises. So our arm comes up, our other arm comes across. We crouch down, shift the weight. If you'd like, balance on one leg for a moment. Set the foot down, reach it out to the side. Hand to your opposite shoulder. As you shift your hips, the hands and arms follow. So this is all like the parts of the wave. Your feet come in, it's like the wave splashes up. Eventually it settles down. You put your foot in the cold pool like you're testing the water. You wind up, just like a wave rolling up the beach. Feet, waist, hands and arms. Feet, waist, hands and arms. Same concept of when we practice our Tai Chi. So let's keep moving on to the next details though. Your hand and your head can move together. And then they come up the same, you come down the same. Everything finishes the same. So one hand to the side. My head moves with the arm. When it comes to going straight again, look straight forward so you have something to focus on. And then everything again finishes here. So if that's fine, instead of this left hand staying here, the hands go together. And this is very much like the pulling from Tai Chi when we do this part. So you get the hands and the arm and the spine. Here's our standing on one leg. And there's our big ward off. So it's the head and the spine kind of circling. Pop up like the wave, roll up the beach, settle into it. So hopefully everybody's breathing. You know, you don't want to hold your breath, but this typically would be breathing in, out, in, out. Or breathe whenever you'd like to. But usually I try to make it wherever we're the most open is inhale, crunching or squishing is exhale, all the way across. So let's do 2 more and then we'll move on. Some of you might hear things crackling in your neck or your shoulder, your back. I do. 1 more. All the way to here. All right, now we move on to the next thing. This hand comes to our left hip. Our other hand does a pinch, just like our, splitting when we practice our Tai Chi set. Come to your hip, your other hip, and then shoulder high. Turn your feet. So everything from here on is kind of like the last part that'll stay the same. One arm pushes, one pulls. And if you'd like, lean into it. And then we come back and it repeats. Pinch. The goal is to get to this hand, but then to the hip. And then up. Time to turn. Now it's like you have a big pulley. One arm's pulling, the other arm's getting drawn in as you push. Lean in if you'd like, and put more tension on your back. Same idea here with the breathing. Breathe in when you're most open. And breathe out when you squish and twist. Straighten up a bit. Here's again kind of like a wave. And then it comes down. Push and pull. So that's the first one. Second one, we turn straight. Well, we actually come here and then we turn all the way to the other side. So there's not that arm rising thing. So we just kind of go from here to here, across, and then as always, if you'd like, reach. So anytime we do stuff where we go past our center line, right hand past our left hand across the right, your brain has to work a little harder to process that. It's kind of cool. It's called cross crawl. And that's how your brain kind of figures out stuff. Which side of your brain moves which part of your body. So again, this will be inhale, squish and twist, exhale. Inhale, exhale. The next one, we turn straight. Your foot comes in, there's our empty stance. Your hand comes to your shoulder. On the way down, your hand pulls back like this. And then it comes back up like the wave. And again, everything finishes the same. Come to your shoulder. Almost like you have water in your hand, you're gonna flick it. So you kind of flick it right about here and then pinch. All the way back. Push and pull. Optional, lean in. The leaning is always optional because some people it really cramps up their lower back. So wind up. The hand's gonna flick, catch. Now it's like you got all this energy on your left side. It's kind of coiled and then you let it go. Come in, flick, catch, push and pull. So the finish part's always the same with this. It's the beginning part that's different. So now I get my right hand and then my left hand follows. And then in front of your face, one is pinched, one is open, so it's to get us back to that very first thing. Push and pull, reach. So I get my left hand going, the other hand follows. As they come up, you pinch. So aside from it being water, it's spiraling, you're coiling. So I wind up like a spring, and then I end up going the other way, like a spring. Wind up like a spring, and twist and reach. Hey there, come on in, we're just a couple minutes into it. So find an open spot wherever and just kind of do the best you can, follow what we're doing. So I'm gonna stand straight, empty stance, hand to your shoulder. This isn't Tai Chi, these are more like Qigong exercises, really, or Taoyin. Wind up, push and pull. All right, so we're just gonna do this a couple more times, we'll go on to the next one. Pull the wrist back, other one follows, push and pull. All right, one more. Wind up, like you're flicking. The other hand catches up. Very watery. Tai Chi is all about water. That's why I decided to show a bunch of these exercises. It's getting the waves moving. So let's go on to the next one. We're gonna stand sideways like this. We'll be on the right side, so I'm gonna put my right hand on top, left hand underneath. So as much as you can, try to keep this as if you're holding on to like a basketball. And then shrug your shoulders, and then drop your shoulders. So this is kind of representative of like a raft on the water, and the swells come up and then down. So my legs are pretty straight when I come up. Shrug your shoulders a bit. When you come down, let your hips and knees bend slightly. All this is relaxed, all this being your arms and shoulders. Up, inhale, down, exhale. So this is feet apart, right? Take your feet now the same way as if we were standing in front. Turn towards the corner though, and then a little bit more, so you're square with this right wall. So again, I come up, my legs are straight. I come down, my hips and knees bend a little bit. So watch what I do with my chin. Chin up, I arch my spine. Chin down, I round my spine. Your chin is directly affecting your spine. Arch, round. Okay, so now when we go up, my foot goes into empty stance. Chin up, I go to Bagua stance where my feet are flat, dip the chin, and round the back. As much as you can, try to keep the hands lined up. So I got up, I got down. Relax your shoulders. Some of you will feel things popping, crackling, and down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. So we're really trying to get this, again, it's all water. It's your spine rolling forward and back and up and down. So let's go to the other side. So let's start off with the easier one. So we're on the left side. Left hand will be on top. Right hand underneath. It's like you're holding a basketball. Shrug your shoulders, feel the tension in your neck, in your upper back, and then let the shoulders drop. Inhale as we go up. Exhale as we go down. All right, good. So now you keep your hands where they're at, but you put your feet on the line. Turn them 45 degrees to the corner. Try and twist to the left wall. Up and down. So you straighten your legs and then bend your knees and legs slightly. Your hips, really. You want to bend your hips and your knees will bend however much. So if that's fine, front foot comes up, chin up. Front foot goes down, chin goes down. So all a wave. Rising, lowering. Coiling back slightly, reaching forward slightly. Hands and shoulders stay loose, in, out. So look at that. We're at the end of the music for that one. Not that I was timing it, but you know, it goes in 5-minute chunks. So it's easier for me to kind of manage when we should go on to another exercise. So we got another one of these to do. There's probably, I could probably figure out 100 of them if I sat down with a pen and wrote them out. So we're going to start a little bit to the right. Left arm comes up, kind of like what we were doing a moment ago, but just bring the left arm up. Sink down, step out. Now it's like you're smearing or moving sand. Then we do the right side. And then this foot comes in, and now we're ready to do the other side. So I crouch down, I reach out, move the sand from left to right, and then the other hand from right to left. And then the feet and hands come together, same time, together again. So this is going up, the water eventually has to come down, so we spread it around, left, right, hands come together, or feet come together, hands come up. So it's almost like the same first exercise, except we're not balancing on one leg. So we crouch down, reach out. We're nice and stable. Go all the way as far as you can towards the right side here. And then go as far as you can towards the left side. And then draw back. That's the water popping up, hitting the rock. Crouch down, put the leg out, go to the left, go to the right. This comes in, leg comes in, arm comes up. So again, it's very watery. The waves are popping up, the waves are settling down. The circle to the side here is for your spine. It's not just the arm, it's you're trying to turn your spine. You go to the other side, not just the arm, but the spine. Then this comes back up. Sink down, left side, right side. Whichever side we finish on, that's the one that comes back in. Inhale. Exhale. So we finish with the left. Left comes up. Inhale. Exhale. So a little coordination exercise. Let's do it 2 more times, then we'll move on. Inhale. Exhale. Coordination, timing. We're not doing too much standing on one leg. We did that with the earlier one. In. Out. We come up. Do our little splash down. Flick up, stretch the neck. Bring your chin down in front. A little shift side to side, release more tension. Same to the right. Shift, flick, look up, and then down, straight up, straight down. So hopefully you feel cool, good, loose, flexible. All of this stuff here, that's water falling. That's from Bagua. That's the snake. You got coming up, and then you got down, and it's like snake, serpentine, right? Tai Chi, not so much, but it's got some ideas and concepts from it. So we got this other set that we've been doing. Come 12:05, we'll get into more of the Tai Chi sets. We open and stretch. We close and contract. Slide your left foot out. Arms splash out, just like we did a moment ago. And then turn into fists. Sink your hips, round your spine, dip your chin. Shift to the right. Hand on your hip. Scoop. Just like we're doing part the horse's mane. Just like we're doing like earlier, we push and pull. Reach. So again, this is not a Tai Chi set, but it has some of the Tai Chi concepts and movements in it. So that's like part the horse's mane. This is our basic punch. Optional lean into it. straighten up a bit, hand to your shoulder, straight out. Turn so your left knee bends, right leg straight, one arm up, the other down. If you can, look at your back hand. If you can stretch, look at your back foot. So this is very symmetrical. We do one side, then we do the other. Wind up, open, twist, close. All right, so we're going to keep going. We're going to do the whole set of 18 exercises just to kind of get it done. Here's a ward off. And on the way down for roll back, we turn over. Here's strum the guitar, punch, elbow, ward off, and block and strike, but we turn to the front here. I'm just giving you side view. So again, ward off, roll back, but turn your hands so the fingernails drag. Pop up, pull your shoulder back, forward, back, forward, ward off as you block. Reach for your opposite foot. Shift your hips a few times as you round your back. Reach up where the ceiling and wall meet. Stretch. Squeeze your fingers into a fist. Hands to your side or arms to your side as you sink into your waist. Open the hands just like from the very beginning. Open, close. Drop your hips. Dip your chin as you round your spine. So that's the first half. We're going to keep going though. Scrub. Rub your hands together, your arms together. Feel a little heat. Roll. Come to your ears. Reach in front. Lean forward a little bit, almost like you're trying to touch in front. Don't lose your balance though. And then we come down and you stack the vertebrae. Raise your hands, make a C or a picture frame shape. Make it into a C. From there, turn your fingers towards me. So now it's a shoulder exercise. Pull your shoulders back. Reach your shoulders forward. Shoulders go up. Shoulders go down. This whole exercise sequence has really got a lot of shoulder to it. It's got a lot of everything to it. Wherever you feel it the most, that's where it's going to help. So we come back to here. Again, symmetry. We do one side, we do the other side. Empty stance, rooster stance, empty stance, bow stance. Lean into it. Back to the center, horse stance. So here we go again. Ward off, roll back. Fists, like you're holding on to a pipe. Keep your hands in that same orientation. Reach, relax, look towards the left. So now we go to the right. Ward off, roll back, grab. So you try to go sideways, stretch, relax, look. Okay, so we're getting close. We're almost near the end. Hand to your shoulder, hand to your hip. Decide if you're fine with bow stance, a little bit of a twisted stance, or, see how I turn my foot a little bit, all the way to twisted stance. These hands come out. Bottom hand, you grab your fingertips like so, like you're holding onto a ball. Twist. Relax your shoulders, sink. So we do the other side. Fists. Now I get the feet in the right spot. Sink the waist. Hands and arms at the end. All right, you got one more set. Hand to your hip is a fist. Other hand does that like strum the guitar. Same thing, either back, behind, all the way to here. So my lungs and chest are wide open. I'm going to try to squish and punch under my left elbow. Then I come back again. Ward off. Protect. Relax your shoulders. One more time on the other side. So we start here, and then here, or here, or here. Punch across. Stretch across. All right, so that's the whole set. We're not going to do the whole set again. Even though you're new to doing this today, like, what's all this stuff going on? because we take our little break at noon. So hopefully everybody felt good doing that. If not, there's always next time. It gets better. So why don't we take our short little break? I like to always start off with the Tai Chi fundamentals. Gets everybody again in the room on the same page with what we're doing. So we start out feet together, and you soften your hips. Soften means bend slightly, right? So as we sink, instead of my foot just going straight on the line, I make a little effort to make a half circle. Just that little conscious effort without looking at the foot. Make a little half circle. And then from there, shift your weight a little bit left, right, forward, and back. So you can feel where your center of gravity is at. It's usually your navel. The navel is usually your center of gravity, but it's actually about maybe 3 fingers below, and then midway between the front and back. So here's our first stance, if you will. I shift forward, my arms float up. I shift my hips back, my arms sink down. I catch a ball at my nose and my navel, and as I shift my weight, there's my arm doing that part the horse's mane position. Come back to the nose, bottom hand turns over. We do the same movement to the opposite side. Then we come back to the center, and then we roll the ball down. So again, 5 exercises. First one gets us to this, but it's going forward and slightly up, and then backward and slightly down. So we're going to go this way to your left. Feet push into the ground. That moves your hips. Your hips help your spine direct and turn, and then the arm comes out. And then we come back the same way. Feet, waist, up the spine to the hands and arms. Then back to the center, roll the ball down. So that's 5 directions, if you will. You got your north, you got south, we go west, east, and then the center of the compass, the axis, the spindle. So this teaches us, how to shift our weight and all that, where our weight's distributed, but also helps us to, figure out where to breathe. So I'm somewhat open, I breathe in. If my arms are coming down, I'm closing my chest slightly, that's breathing out. Open, breathe in. Little twist to the side here, squishes the lungs, breathe out. Back to the center, breathe in. Breathe out. Back to the center, breathe in, up. Breathe out on the way down. So even though it's my feet, and my waist, the arms kind of come along for the ride, but there is conscious effort to where the shoulders go. So I'm not going to touch my ears with my shoulders, but I am going to rise up slightly. My shoulders drop slightly. When we spin, obviously one arm moving up, the shoulder's going to lift. But I'm trying not to tense my neck and shoulders doing that. Same thing on the other side. Move your arms, but don't lift your arms. Arms up, arms down. So each of these have a correspondence to an element. So pushing is metal. Pulling is like a tree branch, that's wood. This flow to the left is water. Remember from the very beginning I said a lot of water theme exercises. The opposite of water is fire, has its own flow to it. And then earth, the most stable and solid of the structures for what we're doing. So metal is like a spear, you're pushing, you're poking. Wood, drawing back, so there's tension. Push your feet, shift your waist, comes out at your hands. Kind of like a tube of toothpaste. You squeeze from the end so that it comes out at the opposite end. And then earth. So that's our 5 directions. From 5, we go to 8. Shift your hip. Turn this hip. Empty stance. So your feet are on the corner here, 45 degrees. Just enough weight to touch the ground. Hardly anything there. That's why it's empty. Here's the hand by your nose, hand by your navel. Step with your heel, and as you shift your weight to bend your knee, your back leg straightens, your hands come along at the end. Now the hands do kind of like a graceful splash. As you shift your weight back, you're rolling a ball back. So now my spine is kind of crossed, my hands are crossed. My spine's not crossed, it's twisted, sorry. On the way back, I untwist, bump the shoulder, poke with the elbow, press the hands against each other as you push out. Splash, pull back, push. So we're just gonna do 7. Turn to the left. Now we're in that same empty stance. I have the benefit of the blue line here. Find your own line. Step about 2 squares apart from where that line was. And then the hands do ward off. Top hand is the main one pushing away. The bottom one's protecting underneath. Now the hands splash. That gets us some momentum to roll the ball back. Cross your hands. Bump, poke, press. Some of you might feel some stretching going on in your neck or your back, your shoulders. So again, just to turn, shift the weight to the right leg. There's my empty stance. Catch the ball, nose and navel. So everything starts with the feet, and then the waist, and then the arms at the end. Same way on the way back. Feet, waist, arms at the end. Going forward. Feet push, waist shifts, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Flick, pull, push. Okay, so that's 7. We want to get 8. Pinch, turn in, split. Your hands are splitting. So each of these has a different task. Ward off keeps somebody away. Roll back pulls somebody down or gives you stability. Shoulder bump, elbow poke, that's all like a wheel. Pull, like you're winding up a spring, let it go, push. So again, this is a simple way of doing the split. This hand pinches, the other hand turns. And there's our bow stance with the feet. So now breathe. Hopefully nobody's holding their breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, straighten your foot if you haven't already, and breathe out. So here's a nice big opening to breathe in. Set the foot down, and breathe out. Pull the breath in, push the breath out. Pull the breath in, push the breath out. Pull in, push out. Shift. Pull apart, it's splitting, pushing. So that's the 8. Ward off, roll back, shoulder, elbow, press, pull, push, split. So if we kept doing this back and forth and you didn't see me adjust my feet a little bit each time we would lose probably 2 squares. Eventually we'll be on top of the tables and you guys will just keep doing it because nobody ever says anything, right? It's like, Jim's the teacher, he didn't say anything. No, you gotta use some common sense. Every time we do this turn and we move the foot, right there we just lost 2 feet. We do the whole thing, we do the turn again, just lost another 2 feet. So each time it'll keep drawing us back. Not a big deal, just a little self-awareness to know you have to adjust as you go through this. Every time I do this, when I'm in the bow stance and my weight comes back, that's a good time to straighten the foot so that the toe, the knee, and the hip are going the same way. If you're a little turned, this isn't bad. This is actually the bow stance that we do with a lot of the beginning exercises. But when we start doing Tai Chi, we want to make sure that's straight. Toe, knee, obviously the hip, follows with that. So let's do it one more time on both sides, and then we'll move into the form. So if we started with this, there's our little opening. There's our empty stance. So it's either empty stance or bow stance. Roll back, shoulder elbow press, pull, push. So right here, this is, there's a couple other stances in there, but really just get to the empty stance. And there's our split. Same thing again, either bow stance or empty stance. So ward off, roll back, shoulder elbow press, pull, push, split. To finish this up, we face back to the front, splash, flick and twist, stretch the neck up, drop the chin, same to the right, splash, twist up, chin down with the hands. Third one, straight up, breathing deeper each time. Exhaling, big exhale. If you can, you try to exhale more than you inhale. Seems kind of, do that. You push out more, and then there's almost like a little vacuum with your lungs that make you breathe in deep the next time. So in theory, circular logic, you would keep breathing deeper and deeper every time you exhale more breath. Somewhere it's going to drop off though, because you can't hold your breath for 5 minutes, right? So, any questions so far? Everybody doing good? Remy, like, okay, whatever you're doing, Jim. So if you have questions, please ask. Otherwise, I kind of keep going with this. So let's move over a couple steps towards the right. This will draw us all the way across the room, kind of like in a straight line across. So here's our beginning. Just like we did a moment ago, go forward and up, down and back. Shift to the left. Turn your right leg. There's our empty stance. Here's the nose and navel holding the ball. Bow stance. Part the horse's mane. So if one hand is going up and forward, the other arm is going down and back. Now we got to shift. Empty stance on the other side, same thing with the arms. One goes up and forward, the other goes down and back to the side. 3 times. Shift, catch, part the horse's mane. So we are going to do the whole set of 24, which has a lot of pieces to it, more than 24 though. Here's empty stance, twist, find your wrist. On the way back, you're doing a shoulder, elbow, wrist, hands split. Here's our white crane spreads its wings. Catch a ball. Bow stance. As you drop the ball, drop your elbow. Roll the ball, push the ball. So all the time I'm going to step forward, I have to shift, get my foot, knee, and hip in the right spot so I can put weight on it, and then we do the other side. Brush knee, hand in front of your nose. 3 times, brush knee, hand in front of your nose. Feet come together, empty stance, strum the guitar. If you would like, try to balance. On the way down, touch your toes, touch your heel. Feet flat. There's our Bhagwa stance. Lift up the ceiling and look where you're going. Right about where this right hand drops is where you want to try to get your foot. And you got to get kind of there by twisting and untwisting. So again, I lift up, foot goes by my ankle, foot goes back. I go from the bow stance with the weight on the front leg to bow stance with the weight on the back leg. So we got 4 of those. Foot by your ankle, foot back, push and pull. One more, up and back. All right, so now we're at the spot where we do those 8 exercises. The ward off, the roll back, the shoulder elbow press, the pull, the push. To get the other side, we just do this. And then we do the other side. Ward off, roll back, shoulder elbow press, pull, push. We can just do the simple turn again here. Just like we did a moment ago, split. Relax your shoulders, sink your waist. Turn to the front. So like I said, we're doing the whole chunk of 24. So this twists to the left with your spine and your arm moving, and then your feet come together and you do the right. Step towards the left, draw your other foot in. 3 times we do that. To the left, to the right. We finish with another split. Sink your shoulders, sink your waist. Now we start to turn on angles a little bit. So I got this front corner, I got the back corner. The hands go past each other, and we have what's called pat the high horse. Relax your shoulders, sink your waist. So I've made a few adjustments, just trying to keep everybody facing the front. So we got empty stance towards the corner here. That's the kitchen, by the way. If I say kitchen once in a while, that's the kitchen through those doors. Arms on the corners. Sink. If you can balance, try to balance. If you can balance, doing terrible. Reach your toes. If you can reach your toes, pull your toes. Reach your foot with your hand. And then double punch. So let's see if our left leg is better. Let's see if my left leg is better. So here's just staying there. If you can balance, reach for your foot and down. All right, so now your left hand, very watery, very snaky, comes in, down, snake creeps, and then pops up. So again, keeping all his face in the front. Rooster on one leg. Pinch. Right hand is the snake, goes down, snake creeps, pops up. Rooster on one leg. Catch a ball. And like you're weaving, you're on a loom. You flip the hands over, you push, and the hands split. That's called working the shuttles. Catch the big ball, spin it into a little ball, push, split. Again, back to the corner, front corner, back corner. Brush knee with the left. This other hand pokes. Needle at the bottom of the seat, like you're putting your hand in the sand. Scoop up. Open a fan. Reach. Turn to the kitchen. See? Kitchen through those doors. Hands catch the ball. Split. Rotate into fists. Block. Block again. Punch. This hand coils back under your elbow to your wrists. There's a big push. Scoop up. Open. Close. Open. Close. So that's the loop, and now it starts all over again. So everything goes back to the beginning. 3 times. Part the horse's mane. So we're going to add the breathing. If you can catch my pace, then follow my pace. Otherwise, do your own pace with breathing. In when you're open, out as you sink. So it's going to get a little slower. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Breathe more frequently if you feel you need to. In. Out. In. Out. So we got 4 stepping backwards with repulse monkey. In. Out. In. Out. Try to keep your elbows down, shoulders down. Breathe out. In. Out. We got the whole chunk of 8. It's only 7 on this side though. Ward off. Roll back. Shoulder, elbow, cross, pull, push, turn. In. out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. 3 times we do wave arms like clouds. In, out. 1 more split. 1 pat the high horse. Kicks. Or whatever you're comfortable with. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Snake creeps. In. Out. Rooster on 1 leg. In. Out. Snake creeps on the other side. In. Out. In. Out. Work the shuttles. In. Out. In. Out. Needle at the bottom of the C. In. Out. Fan or fan back. Your back, your arms open. Reach. Block. Parry. Punch. Apparent closing is this big push. Step to the corner. Square up, scoop. Open. Close. Open. Close. Then we're going to go back to the very beginning just for a couple breaths. So we'll finish with the heart-shaped breath. Breathe in. Breathe out as you roll back. So again, so that's spine movement. Chin up, shift forward. Shift back, chin slightly down. Breathing in deep, in. Compressing, contracting, breathing out. So 2 more times, breathe in. And breathe out. We're trying to slow the breathing down. The arm gestures help bring the blood, the oxygen back up to the top of the head. And then we do another splash, flick, stretch the chin and the neck, and then down. Shift a little here and there if you want to release more tension. Deep breath. Feel the wave of movement from the top to the bottom.